This is generally the way my prayer life works. It goes something like this. Dear Jesus, I really don't feel like shoveling my driveway today. If you would be so kind and shovel it for me, that would be great. Thank you. Amen. Oh, hey, it worked. Look at that. It's working. Of course, it's not done yet, Lord. And those ridges, I hate it when people leave ridges like that on the edge of the driveway. We need to pray again. Dear Lord, I do thank you for starting to have shoveled my driveway. But if you could wrap that up and get those ridges off the side, that would be great. In your name, amen. Oh yeah, that's much better, Lord. You got those ridges gone. You're doing real well. But you're not quite done yet. So one more prayer. Dear Lord, I come before you and ask you again to please shovel the rest of my driveway. You're doing good so far. I will point out that you're starting to leave ridges again. I mean, I just peeked. I know you don't listen to people who peek during prayer. I apologize for that, but if you could just finish this up, and don't forget the stairs at the top, because you promised that whatsoever you have begun in me, that you would finish it, and so I apply that promise to my driveway, that what you have begun you will finish. And so Lord, carry on, you're doing fine. In your name, amen. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. You just say a prayer, driveway gets cleaned. Let's see if you got the steps. Did you get the steps, Lord? Oh, look at that, look at that. Although I thought maybe you could do it a little cleaner than that, and where the tire tracks go, I was hoping you'd be able to get that up, but I know you're busy. You're out defending the orphans and whatnot. I'll let you go. But thank you for demonstrating once again the power of Jeff Weddle's prayer. Just another day in the life of answered prayers. It's a beautiful thing. Actually, those of you who have ever been to my house, that's not even my house. It's actually one of my neighbor's houses. My house is actually over there behind that tree. Right over there. Let's go see what my driveway looks like. Well, as you can see, this is my house. My driveway has not been done. Neighbor over there, her driveway's done. Over here, this lady's driveway, this thing is pristine over here. I mean, to keep a driveway that clean in winters up here, remarkable. Of course, she's a 98-year-old Lutheran, so you'd expect nothing different, Anyone who can spend 98 years in the Lutheran church, they deserve a clean driveway, you know what I'm saying? But me over here, my driveway's still a mess. But that's because I only pray for God's will to be done. I don't really expect Him to do anything, and quite frankly, apparently God's will is for my driveway not to be done. So when my wife tries to get up the driveway, when she comes home from the grocery store, I'll just pray if it's God's will that she would make the car up the driveway, and if not, that it would be God's will that she'd be able to carry all the groceries all by herself. And then I'll carry on. So here we are on my front porch. I'm going to sit here and wait and see what God's will for my driveway is. We'll see what happens. So anyway, I've shown to you the 3 different common ways that people pray. And most of these ways of praying are specific to various denominations. You have your charismatic name it and claim it, where you come out and you see your driveway covered with snow and you say, Lord, by faith I come to you, and knowing the power that is in you, that you will shovel my driveway for me. Amen. And if you talk to these kind of people, it seems like every time they utter something out of their mouth, God just jumps up and goes out and does it for them. They're remarkable people, They think there's power, wonderwork, and power in their prayer. Every time they say something, it happens. And you got your mainline denomination system of prayer where they've worked it off. They put their time in, they've done their duty. God owes them. He owes them stuff. And then, of course, you have your modern evangelical view, which is to just say, oh, Lord, your will be done. We're just going to sit here and wait for you to do stuff. Well, allow me to find fault with each of those. First one, name it and claim it. What's the problem there? Well, basically, the problem is, who's on the throne in that scenario? Usually the people are. They're up there demanding that God do this and God do that. And that's not really the way it is. You got your people who are working it off. Hey, Lord, look what I did. Now you owe me. Now that view is not true because God is not a debtor to anybody. He doesn't owe anybody anything. Then you got your third view, which is just say your will be done. Now the problem with that one is I don't think people really understand what that means. What are we saying when we say your will be done? I think that's a fine thing to pray. If Jesus prayed it, I have no problem praying it. And I have no problem with other people praying it, but you need to know what that means. To say your will be done means I want what is written in your word to happen. When Jesus Christ in the Garden of Gethsemane said, "Not my will, but yours be done," what he was saying is, this crucifixion thing is going to be brutal. I'm not looking forward to this. But Lord, not my will, but yours be done. He already knew what the Father's will was. What was that? That he die on the cross. So when Jesus said, "Not my will, but yours be done," what he meant was, I want your will, what has been revealed in your word, to be done. So when I pray, your will be done, what I'm praying is, Lord, I am the one who is in submission. I am the one who is humble here. I am coming to you out of your grace and saying that, Lord, I want what you want to happen to happen. I want the things that are written in your word to be the things that I do. That's what I mean when I pray for God's will to be done. It doesn't mean I sit here and fatalistically wait around and que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. What it means is, I want to find out what God says in His Word, and I want to go do it, and I want those things to happen that are written in His Word. I want what is consistent with Him to happen. I do not want me in control.
Preach it!
So if asking for God's will to be done is the same thing as doing what it says in the Bible, does the Bible say anything about me shoveling my driveway? I think it does. Hey, boy!
Yeah?
You ever heard the verse that says, "Children, obey your parents, for this is right"?
Yes.
Well, son, I know God's will for your afternoon. God's will for you is that you go shovel my driveway. Ha ha! There you go. Do a good job. Get all the snow off. Don't leave any ridges. I hate ridges.